Hey, this is Julio Ricardo Varela, and I'm just about to get a call from the Secretary of Public Safety and Security, Héctor Pesquera from Puerto Rico. I've been trying for 3 weeks to connect with him so we can have a discussion about the death count reporting that's happening in Puerto Rico post Hurricane Maria. So here's a recording of my conversation with him that we had on Monday, October 30th, around 10:15 Eastern Standard Time. And he's going to call me via his phone, and I'm just going to record the speaker. So here's the conversation. Hey, Secretary Pesquera, thank you so much for your time.
You're more than welcome. Sorry for the delay.
No, that's okay.
You've been after Chris. Okay.
Yeah,
right.
I know you're a
So
busy
how can I
man.
help you?
Yeah, so I just have a couple of questions just to update about reporting about the death count. And I guess my first question, how many deaths in general have been reported in Puerto Rico since September 20th overall, not just cremations, but do you have that information?
Well, no. And the reason for it is because there's two separate areas. The Bureau of Vital Statistics, they will handle the death certificate for those people that die of natural causes. So that's one side of the house. Then the medical examiner's office will issue the death certificates of those who come in through their system in order to be evaluated, mainly, particularly autopsies or something related to a crime scene or undetermined cause of death.
Okay.
So you could get it ultimately, but it's a day-to-day affair. But I'll tell you though that last year, last year were 29,000 people died. So that will put you into the, I don't know, whatever, do the math.
Yeah, it's about 25.
2,500.
Yeah, 25. So
Yeah,
so my question is, when would you expect to have that information public? Is my question, because I think part of the back and forth, is that the information is being shared partially, and so when would the Puerto Rican government be able to say, since September 20th until now, these are the deaths that have occurred, and make that determination that they've already been categorized as hurricane-related death? Because that's, I think, part of the problem here.
Okay, well, those who have come through the system and the medical examiner's office have definitely unequivocally been categorized.
And
those
how many
who
is
are
that?
going through the regular. I'm sorry.
How many is that? I mean, that's, I guess, what percentage?
Oh, okay. Well, I gotta walk back to my office to give it that. I do have it. I can call you back in 10 minutes and give it to you. I don't have it with me. I'm out of the office.
Okay. Well,
So
if you can send that,
so
I mean, you can just send it to me.
Oh yeah, okay. Carissa will send it to you. Yeah, sure, absolutely. We have September, the month of September, the month of October. I'm not too sure it's it's already in, but I think we could give you a partial count.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. So
sure. Yeah, we can do that.
So the medical examiner's office has already categorized what are hurricane-related deaths and what are natural causes. Is that a confirmation?
That is correct. So the total of related, directly related, indirectly related, and the cases where that bacteria went into the leptospirosis bacteria caused the death. Those are already counted. That's why we have 51, I believe.
Okay. So, and you don't anticipate do you anticipate an increase of that 51, or are you confident that that's going to stay at 51?
No, I mean, there's a possibility. One can say, for example, the people that have already been contracted the bacteria, if they contracted based on what we know, because of the situation with the rivers and the bodies of water where the contamination could occur.
Mm-hmm.
If they do not respond to their current treatment and they succumb, sure, I would say that would be unrelated. I mean, related, but indirectly related. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
There's also a possibility someone may have received some kind of trauma and they're still in the hospital, and then they finally die. Yeah, those would be counted. There still may be people that could be counted. All depends on the situation.
So what do you say to the stories that are being published about, that already has chronicled reports from people. Are these people not reporting this information to the government? I mean, where's the disconnect here? Because I'm hearing, hospitals are lying, and then you go on CNN and use some rather choice words. I mean, where's the disconnect? Why is this not being?
I have no idea.
You have no idea.
I don't know where the disconnect is.
Okay.
We go to the hospital. The hospital know what they have to do. The hospital issue the death certificate. The hospital submit the death certificate to the Bureau of Vital Statistics. The Bureau of Vital Statistics count them and put them down in whatever happened. The medical examiner on the other side reviews all the bodies, and they make a determination, then they publish it too. So those reports about people dying, multiple deaths, bodies decomposed in morgues, all those things have been investigated. Nothing have ever happened. There haven't been any validation of those. There was another report that 200 people were buried in a landslide. That was also a lie.
Yeah, no, that I'm not talking about the lies, because I've reported about the lies. I'm talking about the chronicle cases like from Vox and from PRI and from BuzzFeed and from the Centro Periodismo Investigativo. Are those? I mean, they're listing 150 to 200 deaths, and so those have all been certified already and saying that they're not hurricane related.
Those 150, I don't know where that number comes, but I can guarantee you that none of those entities that come to us say, okay, here, you have 51 and we have 150. Let's sit down and compare. Nothing of that nature. Nothing.
But
so they may be saying that on their own, but they have not come forth. And all the cases where they have said that there may be a possibility of this person being counted or not counted, we have investigated, and we can either have included because yes, it was, or no, the hospital disputes it. We can't go against what the hospital said. If the hospital said it was not related, then it's not related. Medical examiner said it's related, then we say it's related. So the answer to the question, I don't know. You're going to have to ask them.
So they haven't.
We can validate all our numbers. We can validate unequivocally all our numbers. Can they? I suspect they can't.
Well, no, but I'm talking about reported cases, and there's already confirmed. And I guess my question is, are people reporting to you? I mean, where's the disconnect? Because it feels like 51 is very conservative. But why are people not reporting? Are people not reporting to the government?
Well, wait a minute. Here's the choice of word. Very conservative. This is not a decision made on let's be conservative or let's be liberal. This is a decision made on facts. People die, and their causes are related to the hurricane. We're gonna count them, whether it's related directly or unrelated. I mean, or indirectly.
Mm-hmm.
We don't make a choice of let's go conservative. We don't make a choice. Let's put more. We go factual. I can't go beyond what is reported to me. I cannot go beyond the facts. I can sustain my facts, but the other people that claim that they have 150 bodies, they can't. So which is it?
Right, but have you reached out to those? For example, have you reached out to the reporter from Vox or from PRI or from USA Today? And because these are reports that came out last week, and I mean they're not rumors. So are you waiting for them? Are you waiting for them to come to you, or are you waiting for you to come to? I guess that's the question. It's like my question has to do with more like how proactive are you guys, and are you reading these reports in the U.S. media, and are you just kind of sitting there going, oh, it's only 51, and we're not going to follow up on these?
An interesting point. One would think that if you have a number that is different from the official number, that you would come to us and say, excuse me, we have this number in here. Can we sit down and discuss it? We have said many, many times, we will sit down with anyone, and we will go back and study whatever case needs to be studied.
Okay. And
we will then make a final determination. We said that many, many times.
Okay.
But no one to this day has come forward and said, all right, we want to meet. These are body counts. These are the names. These are the circumstances. These are the places. Nothing. No one.
Okay. But you are open to having journalists meet with you to say, like, we found these.
Well, of course.
Okay.
Why wouldn't I? Of course.
Sure. Let me just ask you.
No issue. Never been an issue.
Let me ask you just a couple more questions. I appreciate your time.
Sure.
Whatever happened to the morgues that you guys brought the mobile morgues? Are those being used, or were they used for to? Go ahead.
No, some of them are being used. Others are not being used. Fortunately, luckily, some of them we use to decompress the capacity of the medical examiner's office. Not because we have exceeded the capacity, but we want to make sure that it's not, full. So, all in all, yes, some of them are being used. Others are not being used because there's no need to use them.
And you mentioned the hospitals and the funeral, and also I'll bring up the funeral directors. Is this all based on information that you're getting from them, or could it be possible that the information or what's being reported when the hurricane hit, that it all just like wasn't accurate? You know what I mean? Like when the power goes out, how do we all know? Like, isn't there a possibility that the death count is higher, no matter what, and we'll never find out?
Well, Katrina, was it 2000 whatever it was, 2005, Katrina?
Mm-hmm.
Have you found any category? I mean, categorically, this is it, the body count? Of course not. They haven't, and that's Katrina, and that's all the powers in the United States trying to find out how many people died. There's always a possibility. In the world of possibility, everything is possible. All I can say is, from what we have factually analyzed and what we have been what has been reported to us, this is what we can come up with. Is there a possibility? Of course. Why wouldn't it be a possibility? But we can't find any source of that possibility so that we can validate it. That's all we're saying. So
if people come to you, so if people come to you and say, you know, like CNN, for example, is starting to crowdsource reports from online. And so if CNN or came to you and said, hey, we got these 20 reports from people, you would go ahead and investigate them.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then we'll make a determination. And some of them, like I read the report in BuzzFeed, like said, well, the funeral house said that this died, the family said this died because of this. And the hospital said, I'm sorry, that wasn't the case.
But couldn't the hospital be lying? Couldn't the hospital be lying too?
No, I'm sorry?
Couldn't the hospital, isn't there a possibility that the information that's being shared by hospitals and funeral directors and the government is not 100% accurate? Or is that, couldn't you be getting information that's not correct?
Well, like I said, in the world possibility, I think it's possible, but you can't just subjectively say, all right, couldn't it be that they're lying? How could you say that? What are you going to base it on?
I'm just a journalist asking the question.
And I'm trying to answer a question. What is hypothetically? Could they be lying? Oh yeah, of course. Anybody could be lying. But this is not the way it works.
Mm-hmm.
You can't prove a negative. You got to come in and say, okay, here are the cases. We will review them, and I will tell you categorically again that if the cases prove to be right, we will include them. Why wouldn't we include them? And that's the question I keep asking about all these stories. Why would we not include people that die as a result, directly or indirectly?
Mm-hmm.
What would be the cost? And I got one reporter saying because you receive instruction from the United States government. How ludicrous could that be?
Well, I'm not saying that, Secretary, but I also think there is, from a political standpoint and from a perception standpoint, to see the president of the United States say 16 and then like 3 hours later, the government, but I'm just saying 3 hours later, the government, the governor of Puerto Rico said it was 34 after he visited the island like 3 or 4 hours before. Like, why didn't the government say, you guys have been on record saying that the death count was very possibly going to rise. So why are you not being more forthcoming with federal officials to say, because I talked to the White House, I talked to DHS, and everyone believes that the death count is low, when in fact you have been on record saying that it is going to rise. So why is the government of Puerto Rico not being a little bit more forthcoming with the U.S. government?
Forthcoming with the U.S. government. The U.S. government is here with the DMORT people from the health department. They've been here from day two. So what exactly is it forthcoming? This Oliver Stone theories of you all, it doesn't hold water. The president came in here, and by the time the president came in here, the medical examining office had yet to certify those cases. It just wasn't because we waited until he was here. It was
3 hours later, Secretary. It was 3 hours later.
It doesn't. It could have been 3 hours, 3 days. It doesn't matter.
But Secretary, I'm not trying to get into an argument with you, but it was 3 hours later after the president left. Like, you don't think the timing of that is weird?
So, okay, so we would wait, and then we take it and we give it to you 3 days later, and then you find out that we had it 3 hours later. Which is worse? Why would we wait?
I'm not trying.
I can only give it to you when I get certified.
Yeah, I understand. But don't you think that the timing of it was a little bit weird? I mean,
I don't care about the timing. It's when we get it and it's certified.
Got it.
If the timing is such, so be it.
Okay.
I'm not holding information one way or another. Whenever we get it, whenever we validate it, I give it out exactly the same day.
Okay.
So if it comes in one day and that happens, so be it. I can't control it.
Okay.
That's the way it works.
I don't have any Oliver Stone theories, Secretary. So I don't. I'm not here to.
Yeah, but this notion that we held information only after he came in here, and only because he said, "Wow, you did a good job," because the only people died. So we increased the death count. Come on, man.
Okay.
It's just that's ludicrous.
Okay.
It is.
So when you report my last question, so when you report updates, they'll be happening as you get information of
That is correct.
Okay. Do you expect
we get it every day. We get it every day.
Do you expect an update soon or
we get those every day, except for Saturday and Sunday. Today we should get an update from the medical examiner. Those are the ones that we know. We get an update from the medical examiner if they determine that one of them went up. If the state immunologist determined that one of the CDC testing came positive for the lepto, we will include it immediately. Immediately, the same day that we get the notification, we'll include it.
Okay. Well, Secretary, I really do thank you for your time, and I hope we stay in touch. I'll be down
You're welcome.
I'll be down in Puerto Rico probably in a couple of weeks, so I'd love to spend some more time when Maria and Jose and I are down there. Okay.
Absolutely. You're on.
Okay. Gracias, Secretario. Thank you so much.
Hello. You too. You're welcome.
Bye-bye.